Hey guys, I wanted to show you one of my kids' very favorite breakfasts. It's night, as you can see. These are called Goodnight waffles, and I got these from a dear family member. I wanted to share this recipe because it's super cool. You make it the night before, you leave it in the fridge overnight, and in the morning you have a really delicious yeasted waffle, and the kids love it. But I will warn you, you need a very large pitcher. It only makes 6 waffles, but your batter will come halfway and you need it to be able to expand. So don't put a super airtight lid or it'll blow up in the fridge. I know from experience. So let me show you what we're gonna do first. First, we need a 1/2 cup of warm water, and you're going to add to that some yeast. I use active dry yeast. I buy a large, big pack of it that's like airtight, and I use this for years. It lasts years in the fridge. So I don't ever buy the packets because it's like 1/100th of the price as this. So I just buy this, keep it in the fridge at all times, and it lasts years. So we need to add to this 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast. So I'm gonna use 1, 2, you don't want to get this wet because we're going to use this for other things, and 1/4. And I'm going to tap it out, and then I usually use a whisk. Oh, I think my fancy whisk, I hope, oh man, I didn't remember that. I just got a new whisk from Pampered Chef, and I used it all. Oh, here we go. I found it. I'm so excited. Okay, so this, I've never used this on yeast, but I'm sure it'll be great. This is a cool, like, airy whisk. I love it for eggs and sauces. I used this in my sweet and sour sauce this morning. So you want to blend that, and then you also need to add a tablespoon of sugar with the yeast. It helps activate it. So I'm just going to put in a tablespoon of sugar, not yeast. And then I'm just whisking it really good. And the warm water, along with the sugar and the yeast, will all start to wake up and get alert and be ready. This might be too small of a measuring cup. It's only a 1 cup measuring cup, and it might start foaming and get overwhelmed with that little tiny space I left it. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it right here and just let it work. You need to let that sit for 10 minutes. So while it's sitting, we're gonna combine everything else and get everything else ready. So what I've done is I've warmed 2 cups of milk, any kind of milk. This is non-fat milk. I've melted a 1/2 cup of butter, and I've let it cool so it won't like cook the eggs when we put the eggs in. I'm gonna stick my finger in there. It's totally like lukewarm, and I'm gonna add it to that lukewarm milk so it's not gonna cook the eggs. So that's a 1/2 cup of melted butter, 2 cups of milk. I need to close my yeast because I do not want a drop of anything to get in that. I always keep like a little sink full of warm soapy water so I can dip things in there quickly, dip my hands in there quickly, and get that always washed when I need it. Okay, let's stick my little whisk, my big whisk. All right, Gnomes, you gotta move over here for a minute. So I gotta read this stuff. Okay, so while we're waiting 8 minutes for this to do something exciting, we've got our warm milk, our butter. We're gonna put a teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of flour, so I got my teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of flour, 2 large eggs, lightly beaten. I always break my eggs into a separate bowl because just in case a shell falls, and then I don't have to freak out or worry about anything, and I can find it. Nothing, of course. 2 eggs. Oh, it said lightly beaten, so I'll just real quick use my fancy little whisk and just kind of mush those real quick, just lightly before we do all the blending of everything, because I forgot that step. It's okay. I would normally lightly beat it in that little bowl, and then throw it in. Okay, 2 eggs lightly beaten, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I do the baking soda at the very end. So we're not gonna do baking soda right now. We do 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay, so I'm putting it in a pitcher that isn't gonna be very full. It's only gonna be like half full. I'm putting it in that pitcher because this will rise. It's a yeasted waffle. It will rise overnight. So that's all you put in there. We're waiting for that delicious yeast potion to get itself together. The last ingredient after we mix all of that up really well with a whisk, with the yeast. Here, I'll put that in the picture so we can see that we still have that to do. At the very end, after you've whisked it really well, you're gonna put in a 1/4 teaspoon baking soda and whisk that together and then loosely cover this. I've used a lid. This is my Pampered Chef mixer thing. I've used the lid because you can leave the valve open and air can escape. I've done that. Or you can just put like saran wrap loosely over it so that there's like a little bit of air escape. But I will save my 1/4 teaspoon for the last step at the end. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and whisk this a little bit. Remember, we are gonna be adding this warm yeast in a few minutes. You can see it's sort of foaming a little bit. But this really takes like 5 to 6 minutes if you have all your ingredients ready. And it smells really good. Like it smells like a bread dough and vanilla. So it's got the vanilla and the yeasty flavor. Do not eat anything with raw yeast in it. In case you're a beginning chef, a small chef that's under 21 and you've never made yeasted things, don't ever lick the batter of yeasted waffles or yeasted bread. You gotta wait till you bake it. You don't want to have living yeast consumed. Okay, so you can see the batter. It's actually pretty, I think it's pretty thick. When we add this yeast in there, it'll be just the right consistency. Now, I've doubled this before. It filled the whole pitcher and then exploded in the fridge. That was not a good choice. So if you do want to double it, I would do it in a really big pitcher. Like this is a 2-quart pitcher, or a big gallon jug, or make it in 2 separate pitchers, 2 different, if you have a bigger family. But this does feed 4 of us really well, and we usually have leftovers. But if you want extra waffles, or you have more than 4 people in your family, because these are really good waffles, you might want to make 2 pitchers. You're going to store this overnight in the fridge. So that's what we're doing here. And the kids are very excited. I told them I'm making these for them. They are very excited to have that for breakfast tomorrow. I guess what I can do, because I don't want to lose all the details of the final step, is I will show you my very favorite of all time waffle maker. Oh my goodness, this is so fancy. This was on sale last year, and I read every review on Amazon. I spent hours deciding because my other waffle iron was 25 years old or something and terribly hard to do. So because we all love waffles, and the waffle person always works super hard, right? The waffle person standing there making waffles, taking them out, making waffles, taking them out, and each waffle, you've got 1 waffle ready every 4 minutes or something. So I found the restaurant type of style where you flip it, but this waffle maker makes 2 waffles at the same time. I'll show you how it works while we're waiting another minute for our yeast. It's getting foamy. You spray, you actually don't spray. This is a Cuisinart. This is a Cuisinart 2-sided waffle maker. It's super fun. So you use a brush with oil. You don't spray it. They say that the aerosol spray will damage those. So I just do what they say. I use a little silicone brush, another Amazon thing, and I wipe oil on both the top and the bottom grid on this one. Then I turn it over, and then I do the same on this side. So it's ready, etc. I'm not making waffles tonight, I'm just showing you. Then, when it's preheating, you have lots of, there's little, let's see if I can show you. There's a little knob, like how dark you want your waffle. We usually do 2 or 3, between 2 and 3. And it beeps when it's ready. A little green light comes on each side. So you'll know which side of the waffle's ready. So it's very cool. You open it up, and there's a little scoop that comes with it. You know exactly how much waffle batter. You pour that exact amount in. You close it. You turn it. You put the exact one in this one. Close it, and then you turn it. And so you've got 2 full waffles cooking at the same exact time. One is ready. You'll take the one out, and then the other one beeps usually within a few seconds, depending on how long you space them apart. But you can get 2 waffles going at the same time. Pretty easy, pretty quick, and it cleans up pretty well. It's portable. You can put it wherever you want. It does look like I have some crumbs from previous waffle adventures, but that's kind of my favorite waffle maker. And let's see if I can show you the size of it. Anyways, that's my round waffle maker. The kids really like these yeasted waffles. I've made sourdough waffles with my sourdough starter and other kinds of waffles. I even made a corn waffle where I put like canned corn in the regular like Krusty's waffle mix. That was interesting. It had like little chunks of corn in it. It was kind of fun. But that's my waffle maker. So I got that on Amazon. I don't remember how much, but I got it for Corona. I'm dating myself now. Okay, so this looks good to me. This looks good. See how it's foaming? It could wait a little longer, but I don't think it's gonna hurt. So then we're going to add that into our, oh, sorry guys. I'm new to this whole video vlogging thing. Okay, so then we've got our yeasted water, and it had a little tablespoon of sugar. I'm gonna actually scrape all of that yeast foam out so it's all, I don't miss anything from my overnight waffles. Now it really smells like a yeasty type of bread. So you can see the thickness pretty well, I think, in the video. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a great whisk so there's no lumpy flour. Got all my liquids in there right now. So this comes a little bit above 1 quart, but like I said, it's going to double or at least go up to about here as it expands. Okay, so now I'm saying everything looks pretty combined and incorporated. The last step is you're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And yes, that's right, baking soda. Okay, so I'm adding 1/4 teaspoon. It's a teeny bit, and I'm gonna stir it in. Make sure I really do a good job stirring. You don't want a big old clump of baking soda in there. I don't know what that does exactly, but I think it helps with the rising with the yeast. But I'm just gonna guess because I don't know what it does. Okay. So my kids will be super excited to have me making them a hot breakfast on a school day. They'll be so excited Friday because I usually do these only on Saturdays. So I'm very happy that I can cook for them tomorrow. Okay, so like I said, this needs a loose cover. I'm gonna use Saran Wrap because I do not want to put the whole plunger. This is a really cool picture that has a plunger and a lid, and you can plunge things and mix up like frozen. It's a cool picture, but I don't want to get that little plunger all used and dirty and then have to soup it out of my lovely batter in the morning. So I'm just gonna leave a little opening. I'll show you what I did. I'm gonna leave a little opening where we are. Here we go. So I didn't totally seal it tight. I left a teeny little opening there, and I'll stick this in the fridge. This is all covered. It'll be great. In the morning, I'll just stir it really well turn on my waffle maker as soon as I get up, turn it on, oil it, pull this out of the fridge, whisk it up again, and start making waffles. And I can probably get more than 6 out of here. So everybody will probably get like 2 waffles. So that'll be 8 waffles. But yeah, anyway, I hope that you try Goodnight waffles. We call them Goodnight waffles. It's a family recipe from Janice. So Janice gave me that recipe many years ago and we love it. So anyways, if you have any comments, go ahead and leave a comment. We are going to be busy making lots of fun things and there'll be lots more videos coming up. Have a good week.